was our colleague here at Al Jazeera, a Palestinian-American journalist who was shot dead by Israeli forces while doing her job, according to journalists who were there. Huge crowds turned out for Shireen's funeral, an event that ended up highlighting what Shireen had been reporting on her whole career, the way Palestinians are routinely treated under Israel's occupation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. First, our respected lecturer, Mrs. Vita Chita, and also my dear and beloved friends, greeting to all of us. And an Indonesian proverb says, tak kenal maka tak sayang. So let me introduce myself. My name is Indra Rifani Aziza, and also my friends, Dewi Peronikasi Payung, Grace Christine Aprilia Panggabean, Aishwari Anjani, and Maudia Salsabila Dinanti Sembiring Maha. Today, we will proudly present our study material with the title Overview and Analysis of the Legal Case of the Death of Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh. We hope you can follow our presentation for discussion later. No need to linger too long. The first discussion will be explained by Dewi.
Okay, thank you, Indira. Party identification. The Shirin Abu Akleh murder case involved several key parties. 1. Shirin Abu Akleh. 2. Israel Security Forces. 3. UN International Independent Commission of Inquiry. 4. Israel government. 5. Palestina government. And the last, Abu Akleh family and colleagues. That's all for me. Now this time for Anjani.
Thank you, Dewi. I want to explain the event chronology. Israeli forces shot Shirin Abu Akleh in the head while he was on duty in Jenin in the Israel-controlled West Bank. After the incident, Shirin Abu Akleh was rushed to a hospital in Jenin in critical condition. Shirin Abu Akleh was pronounced dead shortly after 7:15, according to the ministry and Al Jazeera reports. The case received worldwide attention because Abu Akleh was wearing a press vest and standing with other journalists when he was shot dead. According to the UN men against Shirin Abu Akleh was a victim offensive and this force used by Israeli security forces. That's all for me. Next will be continued by my friend.
Thank you, Anjani. Problem formulation. The problem of the killing of Shirin Abu Akleh by Israeli forces based on the UN investigation report can be formulated as follows. The first, how do the human rights violation in this case affect Shirin Abu Akleh's rights? The second, what impact does the use of lethal force by Israeli forces have on journalists and press freedom in conflict zones? The third, what was the response and action taken by the international community, including the UN, to the violation that occurred in this case? The fourth, what solution can be taken to prevent similar incidents in the future and ensure accountability for human rights violation? The fifth, how has the international community reacted and responded to the shooting of Shirin Abu Akleh? And to what extent has it contributed to efforts to protect journalists in conflict zones? The all for me. Next will be explained Anjani.
Thank you, Grace. I want to explain to identification of legal issues. 1. Material problem. The first in material problem fields of international humanitarian law. A. Protection of civilians. Shirin Abu Akleh, who works as a journalist, certainly has no involvement in this hostility between Israel and Palestine. B. Attacks on journalists. Second, human rights violence. A. The right to life. B. Freedom of expression. Third, violence of international criminal law. All from me. Next will be funded by my friend Indira.
Thank you, Anjani. And I will explain about procedural issue. And first, has legal procedure been properly followed in the legal case of the death of Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh? In the case of the death Al Jazeera journalist Shirin Abu Akleh, various parties, including international organizations and human rights advocacy groups, have questioned the legal procedure carried out. In general, the legal procedure in the case of Shirin Abu Akleh that are considered to have not been carried out properly and in accordance with international standard. The investigation conducted by Israel is considered non-transparent and limited. Initially, Israel argued the Shirin that was likely the result of firefight between Israel and Palestine forces. Next slide, please. And the B, are there any procedural errors that at this disadvantage either party? There are several procedural errors in this case of Shirin Abu Akleh death that are detrimental to various parties, especially Shirin's family, the Palestinian community, and press freedom advocate. This include a slow, non-transparent, and non-independent investigation, a confession that lacks accountability, and the rejection of a credible international investigation. These errors are detrimental to the victim as they obstruct justice, make it difficult to uncover the truth. And the third, I will explain about a formal issue. The formal issue in this case of Shirin Abu Akleh that largely revolve around the lack of documents that are transparent, complete, and complement with international legal standard. That's all for me. And the next will be contributed by my friend Maudi.
Thank you, Indira. I will explain substantial issue. There are several violations of national and international legal norms contained in this case. 1. International humanitarian law, protection of journalists. 2. Human rights. As a journalist, Shirin Abu Akleh carries out the journalist duties which are part of the right to freedom of expression and dissemination of information, right to life. These killings violate the most basic or fundamental right to life, which is guaranteed by international law and various human rights instruments. 3. Journal professional norms. The killing of journalists while carrying out his duties in this case covering also violates. These incidents not only threaten press freedom to conflict zones, but also hinder the international community access to objective information from war-torn regions. 4. National law and law enforcement. If it is proven that Israeli security forces were responsible, then this is also a violation of Israel domestic laws governing the use of force by the military and police. 5. Military ethics. The killing of a journalist in the absence of a direct threat also conductive military ethical norms that emphasize the use of force only in the case.
Okay, thank you, Modi. Now I will to explain about interpretation. The death of Shirin Abu Akleh on May 11, 2022, while covering Israeli military operation in Jenin, West Bank. Some of the legal data that has been violated in this case are 1. Geneva Convention for, next slide please. 2. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. 3. Additional Protocol 1 to the 149 Geneva Convention. 4. Article 6 of the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights. 5. Production at the International Criminal Court. That's all for me. Next will be continued by my friend Modi.
Thank you, Dewi. I will explain argument submission. Here are some arguments that can be built regarding the murder of Al Jazeera journalist based on the basic and legal fact. 1. International legal protection and for journalists. Legal basic, Geneva Convention for 1949 and Additional Protocol 1977. 2. Right to freedom of the press. Legal basic, Universal Declaration of Human Rights or UDHR Article 19. 3. State and non-state accountability. Legal basic principle of state responsibility or ICJ and Rome Statute 2002. 4. Investigation, impartiality, and accountability. Legal basic Minnesota principle, effective principle for that investigation. 5. Protection of journalists in armed conflict areas. Legal basic UN Security Council Resolution 1738 2006. If it is proven that the killing of journalists was committed intentionally in the context of an armed conflict, then this is I consider a serious violation of international law, which may require future intervention from the international. That's all for me. Next will be continued by my friend Grace.
Okay, thank you, Modi. Well, I will explain about comparison. Similarities. The first Geneva Convention for similar case in other case of shooting journalists in conflict zones, such as the Mary Colvin case in Syria. Courts have also found violation of Geneva Convention for due to attacks on civilians and journalists. The second Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Similar case in the case of the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, violation of the rights stipulated in the UDHR were also identified, especially the right to life and freedom of expression. The third additional protocol 1 to the 1949 Geneva Convention. Similar case in the case of the shooting of journalists in Iraq and Afghanistan, the court found that journalists killed in armed conflict should be protected as civilians. The fourth Article 6 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, or ICCPR, similar case in the murder of human rights activists in Colombia, the court found a violation of the right to live under the ICCPR. The difference, the first legal process and investigation, similar case, some similar cases have reached definitive court rulings, such as the case of Mary Colvin in Syria, which resulted in a court ruling in the U.S. holding the Syrian government responsible for her death. The second level of international engagement, similar case, not all similar cases are brought before the ICC. Some cases are resolved in national courts or through other international mechanisms. Okay, the next will be explained, Dewi.
Okay, thank you, Grace. I will to explain about legal solution. In resolving this case, the Palestinian government filed a formal complaint with the International Criminal Court, or ICC. This earnestly hope that by exposing the multi-faith dimension inherent in this case, justice will ultimately prevail, successfully referring the important principle that safeguard press freedom and protect journalists around the world, including in Indonesia as an integral member of the international community. That's all for me. Next will be continued my friend Grace.
Thank you, Dewi. The last, I will explain about implementation of legal solution. The first, international civil litigation. The second, complaint to the International Criminal Court, ICC. The third, investigation by an international agency. The fourth, diplomatic pressure and international sanctions. The fifth, advocacy and public campaign. That's all from me. I leave it to the moderator, Indira Rifani Aziza.
Well, okay. Thank you, Grace and other friends, for the great explanation. I think this is enough for our group presentation. Please apologize if there are any mistake. Thank you and see you soon, guys. Bye-bye.